Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the SIP. We are interns here at the California Academy of Sciences through the Summer Systematics Institute program, and that's why it's called the SIP. And my name is Arya. I'm one of the SciComm interns and a host today. I'm here with my co-host.
Hello, I'm Noah, and we're here to introduce Kenny. And it's really nice to come back. Just that I have my interview here, so it's really nice to be with Arya introducing Kenny.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Kenny, and thanks everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions for our special guest or either of us, feel free to drop them in the chat comment section. But Kenny, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us, like what you study and what you're interested in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, my name's Kenny. So I'm originally from Long Beach, California, which is in SoCal. I go to UC Berkeley and I study chemical biology. I applied to the CalChem internship because I wanted to. So I've only done like wet lab research and like mostly like chemical engineering stuff and like chemistry stuff. So I've never really done anything with ecology, but like I've always loved ecology. So I was hoping to get some experience in that really, and like so that's why I applied. And I've been loving it so far. My project is with Dr. Rebecca Johnson, and she's amazing. She's so wonderful. She's brilliant, and she does nudibranch research. She's also on Wikipedia, which is pretty cool, I thought.
What? That's awesome.
She is, yeah. Well, like she's cited, but I was like, that's crazy. Like that's amazing. I was like, she's literally there. And so what we're doing right now is just going over like Catalina, like phylogeny and like with bioinformatics and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think it's really new. So it also has been kind of challenging because I don't like, yeah, a lot of the ecology stuff is pretty new, but I really have been enjoying it so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so nudibranchs, for those of you who are not familiar out there, can you tell us a little bit about them, Kenny?
Yeah, so nudibranchs are like these colorful slugs. And so basically like, what I've been learning a lot basically is a lot of animals are new, like, and by that I mean like not all of the species are known. And I thought just like that wasn't true. I thought everyone knew like what every animal was. I thought that was already done. So nudibranchs are one of those animals where they're still discovering new ones. They're deciding whether certain nudibranchs are different from each other, whether they're separate species. And so that's like that's why there's so much research in it happening right now. But the nudibranchs themselves, yeah, they're these colorful little sea slugs. They're beautiful. And they have like they kind of resemble just like terrestrial slugs, like banana slugs kind of, but just like more colors. You know, that they got a little foot and like a little, slimy on top and stuff. They have radular teeth, which it kind of looks like this. I was looking at a pic. I have a wait. Okay, I don't have a picture, but I should show it. Okay, they have like little like these really creepy teeth that kind of like it's closed, and then when they're hungry, it like, and I'm just like, it looks kind of like the little monsters in Alien. You know the one like it looks crazy,
yeah.
But like yeah, and they're really cool. They eat like sea sponges, and I think they're really interesting. And then their mating processes. This is I was reading about mating process because the project is a little bit about banana slugs too, terrestrial slugs, and another side project is hopefully we continue this in the fall is determining whether the banana slugs found on Treasure Island are separate species from the other ones in Northern California. Like whether there's been enough time to where like they're distinct. And I was reading about and banana slugs, if you don't know, are like kind of like there's like these little yellow like tubule slugs and everything, and they're pretty cool. But I was reading that when they mate, they have trouble pulling each other apart. Like as soon as the one inserts the penis into the other, they can't get it out. So like sometimes they'll nibble it off, and I was like, damn, like, that's pretty crazy. But they're interesting. They're fascinating creatures. And it's a really cool project. And they're just so cute. They're really cute too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wonder, like, are they live in that deep sea like level, like this? Where they live? Are they in the shoreline or deep on the sea?
Just the nudibranchs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the species are found along like the North American like Pacific coast. So there's a lot right there. 4 species were discovered by Dr. Gossliner, who is another faculty member at the Academy. They were discovered in South Africa, and I'm trying to think where. But yeah, I don't think it's super deep, I would say, but just like off the coast for sure, I would think. But yes, and I'm trying to think. I don't think any, like, not super deep though in the ocean, like below.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because there is, like, my guess, I was just guessing. It's like, okay, a lot of the deep sea marine creatures, they have this colorful like, because they're so colorful, right? The Nudibranchs, it's because they live in the deep sea, and I was just like wondering if that's like just like make
That's a good question.
That's interesting because when like, you know, like the animals that live really deep in like there's often a lot of bioluminescence I see, like with what is it? ¿Cómo se llama? The anglerfish? The not anglerfish. Yeah. And so like there's that kind of bioluminescence, you know, that kind of like that bright color, and I think that's for prey and stuff. But then I think these like, but then like more warmer like tropic waters, I feel like there's so many colorful. You know, like with lionfish and like a tropical fish in general, I think they're kind of like, they prefer more of that kind of setting. And it's probably like that coloration is probably I would just say to predators. I think actually though, Dr. Rebecca Johnson mentioned that they weren't sure, or that I think she might know. I think she would know the answer. She's really smart. She's really smart.
So her out of Wikipedia.
So we can find the Nudibranchs on the like tropical areas, right?
Yeah, I think, and also like off the coast of California too, and off the coast of South Africa as well.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
that's super cool. So yeah, you're studying both land slugs and sea slugs this summer, right? Like kind of the whole.
Yeah, mostly nudibranchs, but hopefully banana slugs in the fall. I think that'd be really awesome to do that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And then we're also working on an old paper as well, and just like going over like working on like species descriptions and learning about that as well, because that's something that's completely new to me too. Like the way to describe species, you know, what things are important. For example, like the teeth, it's like figuring out, like, for me, it's like, what is important about the teeth, you know, like, and I was just like, damn, because it's just a entirely new way of science, and I think it's super cool.
That's awesome.
And then I want to also shout out like Dr. Rebecca Johnson, because part of her research is citizen science as well, and so that has a lot to do with iNaturalist, which is like an app you can download on your phone. And it's really cool because all you have to do is take pictures of, like, you know, an animal you see or like a plant you see, and then you just upload it, and then you put some like descriptors about it, like is it wild, or did someone put it there? Like is it, you know, domestic dog, or is it like a tree that was planted there for a purpose, or like is it something that just naturally grew there? And that's really cool too, because and I've been talking and thinking about this a lot lately, because it's a way of integrating people who normally wouldn't be involved in research into science, and kind of bridging that gap, which I think is really important. That community science and like the networking of community is super important, and especially for conservation in the future. But that's something that she does that I think is really cool, because I had never heard of iNaturalist before. So I think that was awesome. Yeah,
it is really awesome. And you know, the other cool thing about Inat that I've just learned myself is that like there's like a machine learning, artificial intelligence, something or the other that helps you actually identify the animals, which is very cool, because now, like, whenever we've been going out on walks, like, we'll take pictures and then just like stick it on Inat, and it'll come back with like some kind of ID and give us a better idea of what we're looking at.
It's literally a Pokédex, you know what I mean? Like in Pokemon. It's like, because in Pokemon, okay, so there's this thing, because if you don't know, Pokemon are like, it was like this TV show as a kid, and it's like a game, and basically like the main character Ash just goes out and finds Pokemon, which are like wild animals kind of, or like wild plants kind of, and then like that's literally what iNaturalist is. Like, it's Pokédex. Like, you're documenting, like, oh my god, I found, like, look at this, and it literally is telling you what it is and like descripting about it, you know. And that's so important, right? Because like towards like a better relationship with our environment, I think, because I think the better we understand it, especially as a community, the better we can treat the environment. But it's super cool. I think it's amazing. I think it'll blow up though, hopefully.
Yeah. Totally. But yeah, Noah, this segues pretty nicely into our first question, like first official question. Noah, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. What excites you or inspires you most about your summer research project?
Like the research itself or the internship itself?
Yeah,
just like the summer, this internship.
I guess I think I want to go with the internship just because I think like the people I met have definitely been super inspiring. And like getting to meet people from like so many different parts of the country, and as well as people with like different majors as me, different specializations. Like I mean, just Arya last week was literally talking about like shark migrations and like mitochondrial DNA. I knew nothing about that, and I was just like so interested. I was like, that's crazy. Like that's really interesting to me. Or like Huli knows so much about like energy and like environment and stuff, and that's like amazing because it's like those are things I've always been interested in, but never have known a lot about. And like getting to be in a community of people who like all have different specializations has been probably one of my favorite parts of it because it's made me feel like maybe this like I think it's made me feel more confident that science is something I want to pursue because like getting to collaborate and learn new things as a networking community is I think something that I never experienced before. Like, even in college, it's like we're all in the same major, right? Who you're studying with, so you don't really learn new things, I guess. But this is like probably one of the first environments where I've kind of had no choice to learn new things, like about sharks or mitochondrial DNA, environment, energy, and it's made me want to continue pursuing these types of environments, these types of like work projects, because for me, like learning new things is like the coolest thing you can do. I think I decided that in high school. It's like I just want to learn because it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Kenny is taking like a course at the same time as doing this internship because he has a big brain and manages to do all these different things together. But yeah, definitely we love learning. Big shout out. And I'm going to hop into our next question, which is also a pretty fun one. Do you have a favorite memory in nature that you want to share with us?
Oh yeah. I bring this one up a lot, and like it's so my abuelo when I was a kid, I used to always go with my abuela to I used to call it the rocks, you know what I mean? But it was actually San Pedro in Southern California, and I didn't know that as a kid. I thought it was just called the rocks. But she used to always take me there as a kid, and we would just go tide pooling, which at the time I didn't know was going tide pooling. Like I thought it was just like, oh, we're going to the rocks. And so that was like my favorite thing to do, was just, you know, to go look at the tide pools, like the crabs and like the little like spongy things that like squirt out water. And then like
the anemones?
Huh? Yeah. It's super cool. And like the fish that you'd find, and then like there'd always be like seals too. It was like just an amazing environment. Like every pool had a different thing. Every pool had a unique ecosystem and everything. And then like every day that we went there, or like every different day, there was like always something new. Like one time there was an octopus and like a tiny little octopus in one of the pools, and I was like, that's crazy. Like one time like there was like a sea slug in one of the pools, and it was so like it was beautiful. I want to say it was as a nudibranch, like, but I wouldn't know for sure. But like because I was a kid, but like it was colorful and it was really pretty. But I don't know what it'd be doing over. Like I think it got trapped in the pool, and at the same time, like there was always kind of like something dead as well every day, right? Because like there's so much environment, right? And it's kind of it's like a naturally like balanced ecosystem, and I thought it was amazing. And then what's really and I just used to always just love going with my grandma, just like we would just climb all the rocks, and we'd always just like look for fun things. And then I guess coming here and finding out like it's called tide pooling, and that it's something that people do a lot, was like oh my god, like that's awesome. Like that was like my favorite thing to do as a kid. It's still something I do every time I go back home for winter break or like summer. I make sure to do that, because it's like even like literally like this month July, when I went home for like a tiny bit to see my grandparents, like we went to go do that, and that was super. Yeah, I've always loved the tide pooling. Super fun.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm sitting over here like smiling about dead things. Like, but
yeah,
like,
because they're
really
just
cool.
as important. Yeah, because everything just eats it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the next question is, how has Black Lives Matter movement impacted you as a person or as a scientist?
And
I
think it's yeah. I think like because Black Lives Matter started, I want to say in high school, and I think back then, like, just being in support of it, and like, but even then, I think I didn't fully understand like the systems at work, I suppose, like, and like I wasn't fully aware of like fully understanding like the judicial system, how that worked, the law enforcement system, how that worked, our politics and how that works. And so I think with Black Lives Matter, that in 2020, what I've seen a lot too is I think this is the first time like I've seen like the kind of the walls get peeled back on how everything works, and it's kind of like on laws, like lawyers and all these things, prisons, and it's like it's really revealed the whole complex that's at work here. And I can't really say how it impacts me as a scientist, but as a person, like that awareness I'm grateful for, and especially like, and it's like, because I feel like once you see that, it's kind of like you want to change it. You don't want to just sit back and like let that keep happening. And getting to listen to Black leaders like in Oakland and everything when I went to the protest was a really amazing experience. I thought that was a life-changing experience for sure, but especially just going back to like peeling back like how corrupt everything is. Really corrupt. I think I really do think everything is corrupt. The justice system is crazy. I don't even understand why people go to jail for like dumb things. I totally don't understand that. It blows my mind still. And I think it's such BS, especially how Black people in America are just so targeted for like the dumbest things. And it's such like even in San Luis Obispo, like I think like they still have like or no, not in San Luis Obispo, but like I forgot where I saw it, but like there was like a law for jaywalking. Like, okay, and like I think it's everywhere actually. The law for jaywalking is such BS because like then like cops can just choose like who to enforce it on, and who are they going to enforce it on? Racial prejudices, and it's going to drive that motivation. And it's like it's so crazy. It's like, and it's like it's definitely, and it's amazing seeing other people see it too, and like me seeing it for the first time is just like, yeah, I don't want to go back to like that normal anymore, like that, like when you're kind of just living like not knowing these things. I want to pursue the future that like so many people have envisioned, and like a better future that's possible. And even if it's like, but yeah, that's how it's impacted me as a person for sure.
Yeah. I think that's really like well put. The, like not wanting to go back to normal because the normal isn't like, that's not it, and it's better to build a new world. And like, obviously there are going to be new systems in place, but making sure that we're doing literally everything that we can to make it a better one and make it more inclusive. And I really like that. Yeah. Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah.
And we can just hop right into our next question, shifting gears here a little bit. But our final question for you is, if you could travel anywhere in the universe, where would you go and why?
Oof. Do I get one choice, like one stop?
Okay, you can make it into like a road trip. That's fine.
Oh, okay, road trip. Okay, so I was talking about this. Okay.
Anywhere in the universe, but like with stops, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. It's hard because you know how like we have like natural disasters and stuff here, like on Earth. Like we have like earthquakes. We have like hurricanes and stuff. We have tornadoes, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And because those natural disasters aren't that crazy. Salud, bless you. Life has like developed, right? Because like the natural disasters aren't that crazy, right? We don't have that much radiation. What I would want to go on a universe field trip would be like seeing what kind of natural disasters exist on other planets. You know what I mean? Like diamond rain, intense radiation, and like I think it would be so crazy. And like how we have like waterfalls here and rivers. Like I would want to see what other planets have. Like I've heard like Jupiter has like neon rain, I'm pretty sure, or and just like seeing those. What it was called, natural wonders, but that can only be found on other planets because they're not found here. Because like I feel like we're really sensitive here, like we're life, so it's like if anything is that crazy, like it can be pretty harmful, like that, especially the radiation, or like diamond storms. But yeah, I would love to see the natural wonders of like different planets. I think that would be amazing, like liquid diamond pools of like rivers, like that sounds amazing. Like because there's just, I think too, especially the chemistry of that, because we're at 1 ATM, we're at like 60 to 80 degrees usually in California, so it's like a lot of things like we can't see the way that like what grass would look like at like a ton of pressure, like at a ton of radiation, or like what rocks would look like under those conditions. So getting to see that along different planets would be that'd be like the one thing I'd want to do for sure.
Yeah, like seeing how chemistry plays out on other planets based on like standard conditions. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That sounds really.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks so much, Kenny, for like answering all our questions and chatting with us. We've got our social media handles for the SSI program down below on both Instagram and Twitter. Noah runs an amazing set of Spanish accounts in Spanish, so definitely go check those out. And yeah, we have another live stream coming up. I don't know when, but we have a few more live streams to do with other members of our cohort, and we have already interviewed 7 other folks. So you can go check those out on YouTube in this playlist that this video is in. But yeah, thanks so much, Kenny, for being here. Thanks so much, all of you, for tuning in. And yeah.
Thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of the day. Stay safe.